Everybody, and welcome to Slowpoke Racing and the home of Ultimate Racing League, sponsored by Prop Up and Co. And this is our Sunday Championship. We are, where are we? We're at round 3. We are, yes, we're getting into this this season now. Yeah, we're at round 3, and we are at Daytona now. We've not clashed with the 24-hour Daytona race. That was done just a little bit earlier. They've just finished and warmed the track up for us. So our boys are out there now and ready to go. So yeah, we're at Daytona International Speedway, the road circuit. We're in Florida. It's 3.5 miles and 12 turns. Pretty tricky track, actually. This one is all about the slipstreaming, which unfortunately, at the minute, seems absolutely no good. It's rubbish. The slipstream really doesn't kick in until you are very near the end of the straight, or the curves in this case, when it's a bit late, which is really unfortunate. So yeah, come on, PD, do something about the slipstreaming. Anyway, excuse me. Let's get on with this race, shall we? So we're going to have a look down the grid and see where everybody is. We've got, let's have a, I did have a look earlier. We've got 12 on the grid, which is a good turnout for this race. So without further ado, we'll have a look and see where everybody has put themselves. So after qualifying, Nath has got himself on pole. Now this is his first time on pole, but he has been a regular on the podiums, but he's had no wins yet. So he's been the bridesmaid a couple of times, but not quite the bride. So with him put himself on pole now, maybe this could be his night. So pole position and a win, who knows? Come on, Nath, you can do it. Dan just behind him, in contrast to Nath. Dan's actually had 3 wins, and he's just coming off the back of that double win from last week. Fantastic racing from Dan last week at Sardinia to, as I say, take the double win. So he's sitting there in second, so I'm sure he's going to have something to say about Nath trying to take the win. Gower in third, starting to show his form now. He was promoted last season, and now he's getting into it, got himself there. Third on the grid. Fourth is Harry Poppins. This is more like it from Harry Poppins. Traditionally not a great qualifier. Excuse me, is Harry Poppins. But when he doesn't qualify very well, he always seems to get himself up there on the podium. Let's hope this isn't a reverse role where he's qualified well but doesn't get on the podium. Who knows? We shall see. But good to see Harry Poppins up there in fourth. Paul is sitting just behind him. They look very close together, don't they? Paul is sitting there just behind him. I might, unless I've gone too far into this. You know what? I think I have. Let me go back to the beginning. No, they're still pretty close, aren't they? Never mind. Paul is sitting there 6th on the grid. Grasshopper is 7th. Not really seeing a lot of Grasshopper, have we, this season? He's usually up there in amongst the leaders. So come on, Grasshopper, get your act together. Then we've got Mika in 8th. We've got Stubbs down in 9th. Dizzy in 10th. Bloomfield 11th. And Brian Moncani, who's, he's been all out of sorts, hasn't he, this season? He's just lost a bit of form, has Brian Moncani. So that's somebody else that needs to give his head a bit of a wobble and get himself back in the game, because we're not used to seeing Brian Moncani this far down the grid. If you go back and look at previous races, you'll see he is quite a battler, actually. So not quite sure what's happening there with Brian. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on him. Hopefully he'll make his way through the grid and finish a little bit higher up than 12th. So back up to the top. Now then, what I'm going to do, I say back up to the top. I'm not going to go back up to the top. I'm going to stick with, let's go with Dizzy, shall we, for the start of this race. Now, the reason I'm doing this is turn 1 is an absolute nightmare. It's a left-hander. There is an invisible wall, believe it or not, for those who don't really know this track. There is an invisible wall at turn 1. If you get too close to the tyres or the barrel or whatever it is on the inside, on the left-hand side, you will suddenly find yourself slammed into that wall. It is quite tight, so we're going to go with Dizzy, just so we can keep an eye on everybody going into this first turn and see what kind of shenanigans we get up to. So we'll get this race underway. It's a standing grid start. 15 laps. It's dark out there, but the one good thing about this race is it's well lit. Daytona, they do like to switch the lights on, which is fantastic for us because we can see exactly what's going on. So as they come up towards this notorious turn 1, let's just keep an eye on it. Oh, and it's all getting a bit touchy-feely as Dizzy does have to run a little bit wide. Oh, and who's that? That's Harry Poppins has gone. We thought somebody would. We really did think somebody would end up going. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can find him. Harry Poppins. We're going to go back and get a proper look now from the start. So Harry Poppins had a good start in 4th. Gets himself away, moves up into 3rd, but it is almost 3 wide as they approach this turn with Dan Dan and Gower. Getting a bit tight in there. Oh, and a bit of a touch there from Paul. I'm not sure if he got tagged or not. Oh, Harry Poppins gets tagged. I think that might have been Mika actually that caught him as they went into turn 1. I said it was going to be very tricky. Well, everything's... Oh, now that was Mika tagged. I think he might have... Oh, everybody's touching everybody there. I think Stubbs might have touched Mika. Mika's hit Harry Poppins. He's gone off. It's... yeah, well, we thought it would be a bit chaotic going into turn 1, but there we go. Everybody's still racing, which is the main thing, but poor old Harry Poppins now down in 12th after that, well, all the hard work he did for... qualifying has all come unstuck at turn 1, and he's now got a bit of catching up to do. Fantastic livery though, it's got to be said. You might be down in 12th, Harry Poppins, but I do love that livery. So come on, you can catch up. I know you can. Just concentrate, deep breaths, and get your head back in it. In the meantime, Nath is actually leading this pack. Everybody lined up behind everybody else looking for that non-existent slipstream. And Nath, well, he's comfortable at the minute, isn't he? He's got Gower behind him in 2nd, and Dan Dan has dropped down to 3rd after that. Well, not chaotic start, it was a bit of a mishap. Into the bus stop chicane, also known as Le Mans chicane, actually. So Dan Dan gets a good exit out of there and pulls alongside Gower. So Gower now just with his nose in front, Dan Dan in 3rd. We've got Paul sneaking up there. Just behind in 4th. Now Paul is being joined by Grasshopper. Grasshopper pulls out to the side of Paul. Now no bump drafting allowed on this track, which is why the guys are pulling out when they have to. And again we're going 3 wide as we go past the pit entry into turn 1. It is 3 wide again with Dan Dan, Paul and Grasshopper. Let's have a look. This time make sure they all get through, and they do. Fantastic stuff. That's more like it. Give each other a bit of room at least, and Dan Dan and Paul still battling it out for P3 as Dan Dan goes up the inside into turn 2 at the International Horseshoe. Sorry, turn 3 at the International Horseshoe. Then they come down to Porsche Plaza, which is the right-hander, or slight kink in the road really, shall we say. Left-hander, apologies. And then we're into Whist Horseshoe at turn 5. This is the tricky part of the track really, when you come off of the main bank and then you're hitting into a few corners. Then as we come through turn 6, we re-enter back onto the main track, and it is Nath still leading Gower. Dan Dan moves up into 3rd. Paul just dropped off the pace, dropped off the back of Dan Dan just a little bit, but he has got a mirror full of Grasshopper. Grasshopper looking to make the move very shortly on Paul. He's going to have to pull out. As I say, you cannot do the bump crafting on this track, so you have to pull out. This is going to be interesting as they head down towards the bus stop chicane. Who is going to give in? And Paul has his Grasshopper's gone through, so Grasshopper gets into the chicane first, then Paul, then Bloomfield. Silly Shot in 7th, Mika in 8th, with Stubbs in 9th, Brian Moncani in 10th, Dizzy 11th, and Harry Poppins still trying to play catch up at the back in 12th at the minute. Fastest lap so far, we're only on lap 2, but it's a 1:59.0 for Nath out in front. Looking comfortable as well is Nath. Let's just have a look. He's got a decent gap actually back to Dan Dan. So while Dan Dan's been battling away with the rest of the guys, Nathan said, "Thank you very much. I'm just going to scatter off up the road." As they go through turn 1, things are a little bit easier now with turn 1 when it's not so crowded, as they all go streaming through. A good battle here in the mid-pack. You can see Stubbs having a look at the inside of Bloomfield. What a great shot that is. Must be, well, we're in Florida. I was going to say it must be cold up there in that crane, but we're in Florida, aren't we? I know it's night time, but it's still warm. So Bloomfield making a good good way through the pack. Started in 11th, he's now up to 8th, so good start for him. One good thing about these night races is when you can see those brake discs glowing red hot as the guys try and slow these Jaguars down. I've been told there are over £1,000 a pop for these brake discs, and these guys get through them each race. But yeah, brilliant sight, isn't it, when you see the wheels glowing hot like that. So Bloomfield in 8th, then we've got Mika in 9th. He's just trying to tuck himself up underneath Bloomfield, pick up that slipstream as we get towards the chicane. That's when it kicks in, unfortunately. So just as you are about to make the pass, you've got to slam the brakes on and turn that wheel and get through this chicane. Very easy to pick penalties up as well at the chicane, but so far the guy's doing okay actually. Harry Poppins looks like he is slowly gaining on Brian Moncani in 11th. Those big kiss me quick eyelashes on the front of Brian Moncani's Jaguar, and the full face lipstick there chasing Dizzy down. That's why Dizzy's actually speeding up. He don't want to be chased down by Brian Moncani's kissy car there. As we hit turn 1 again, nobody managed to hit that wall yet, which is good news. Through the little bit of a chicane thing at turn 2 and then up towards turn 3, which is the International Horseshoe. We will do a lap as usual so everybody can see what this track is like. Let's have a quick look at Nath again, looking oh, there's that shot of those brake discs glowing red hot as Nath tries to get that Jaguar to slow down as he takes us around turn 5 and looking to rejoin the main circuit again after he's come through turn 6. Very neatly done there from Nath. It's almost like double yellow lines out, as if anybody's going to actually park there. You'd be maniac to park there, wouldn't you? But I think if you cross those double yellows with all 4 wheels, then you get a penalty. I'm not sure. I think you can just about get 1 or 2 wheels on it, but if you go all 4 wheels off, that's when you get your penalties. Fastest lap at the minute is Grasshopper down in 3rd. He's got a 146.8, maybe picking up a very slight slipstream from down in front. Good battle behind though. Look at Silly Shot and Gower. Silly Shot, oh, as Gower goes across the grass. Let's have a look. That was into the chicane, wasn't it? So we're on board with Gower chasing Silly Shot. Good start from Silly Shot. He's holding position in 4th. Now then, Gower, this is the slipstream. Look, see, it's just catching up as we get to the chicane. Now, 2 of you going through there isn't really going to work, is it? And there was a bit of a touch there from Silly Shot. Not a lot he could do about that one, as I say. There's just no room. One of you needed to back out, but that's yeah, the determination of these guys, and you can see now that Gower really is slipping down the order. He's got dirty tyres, not that it's going to make that much difference on this track, because by the time he gets to turn 1 they will be properly cleaned off. But Gower now down into 10th. He's got Brian Moncani chasing, he's got Dizzy right alongside of him as they approach turn 1. Let's have a quick look as we come into turn 1. Brian Moncani having a bit of a look at the inside of Dizzy. It is Gower in 8th position, almost 3 wide again. And Gower's caught right up to the back of Bloomfield as they went through turn 1 into turn 2. Now up into turn 3. Now then, Gower's going to have to go all the way around the outside if he wants this one. Bloomfield trying to give him a bit of room, and Gower just having to ease off to just get them both around that corner. Fantastic stuff from these guys. Good recovery from Gower. He lost a lot of places, didn't he, after that coming together with Silly Shot into the chicane. He's also attacking Bloomfield now as we come around. Where are we? We're on time 5. So Gower back up to 7th very, very quickly. All the guys on racing soft tyres. So no advantage to be gained through tyres. So it is just skill. So great stuff from Gower to get himself back up into 7th. We've got Bloomfield just behind him. Then we've got Brian Moncani. He's up into 9th now. So come on, Brian. This is more like it. This is what we want to see from Brian Moncani. He's now moved himself up into 9th. Dizzy in 10th with Paul. Oh, I'm not quite sure what's happened to Paul. He was up there mid-pack earlier on, wasn't he? And he must have had a bit of an issue. So apologies, we've missed that one. I'm sure Paul doesn't mind. But he's now down in 11th Could have served a penalty. We're not sure. We did miss that one. I didn't think anybody would pick penalties up. And then we've got Harry Poppins still playing catch-up in 12th now then. I did see something. There we go. Brian Mulcahy and Bloomfield side by side. But Bloomfield has got that penalty. He's going to serve it. And Dizzy trying to find a way to get past Bloomfield when he serves his penalty. But they're so close together. Bloomfield's going to lose quite a lot of places there. And he does. Yeah, Bloomfield now down to 12th, having served half a second. This is how close these guys really are. It is still side by side with Paul and Dizzy as they're going through turn 1. Wow, these guys really do not mind doing a bit of door rubbing, do they? This is where the battle is for P8. Look at Brian Mulcahy up to P8. Come on, Brian, this is what we want to see. That kissy car Jag is now chasing, who is he after now? Gower. Gower is next on his list. Fastest guy on track is Nath. He's retaking that fast lap at 146.5. We'll have a look at him in a minute. We're just watching Brian Mulcahy picking his way through the grid. He's got Gower just in front of him. Then Mika will be target after Gower. Paul down in 9th. Well, he's caught back up again, hasn't he? I think he dropped down, what was it, 11th, 10th, 11th, something like that. So Paul back on a charge. He must have had a bit of an issue somewhere. Dizzy in 10th. Harry Poppins now up to 11th with Bloomfield down in 12th, having served that half a second penalty. Back up to the top though, and at the sharp end it's Nath as he goes through that bus stop chicane for the 6th time. The gap reducing, I think. Dan is catching up. Now, Nath has not had a win this season. Dan has. He's had 3, I think. And Dan obviously was going to make it 4th. But Nath at the minute is holding on to the winner's trophy. Well, he's got one hand on it, hasn't he? As Dan tries to chase him down. Just behind them, then we've got Grasshopper. Oh, Dan there. We just seen it as he crossed the start-finish line. Dan now takes the fastest lap, a 146.4. So Grasshopper sitting there in 3rd. Bit of a gap between himself and Dan, but equally he's got a nice cushion between himself and Stubbs. Stubbs currently sitting in 4th position. Good start from him. Started 9th on the grid, did Stubbs. Oh, now there's a bit of lag. I was going to start. I think he's just gone off track, but no, that was a bit of lag. That was for Stubbs. Another fantastic look at that. That does look pretty cool, actually, Stubbs. So again, if you've done that yourself, well done. I congratulate you. I do like that. If you stole it, well, we don't need to know. Keep that to yourself. Although he is coming under a lot of pressure now from Silly Shot. Silly Shot race with him on a Wednesday, so I know how quick he is, and he's if you give him the opportunity, he will go by Stubbs. Very clean racer is Silly Shot. Doesn't take unnecessary risks if he doesn't have to. Very clean racer, which is what we like to see and what we promote here at Ultimate Racing League. Cars do have bumps and scrapes, of course they do. You can't race that close without it, but when it comes to doing silly things, Silly Shot doesn't. So yeah, good race of Silly Shot. So it'd be nice to see him up on the podium if he can. Oh, Gower picking up a 1 second penalty for slamming across the chicane there. He cut a bit too much, and he's picked up a 1 second penalty. Now then, where is Mika? I think Mika's going to be close enough. He's going to be close enough, I think, to take that spot away from Gower. So, oh, hang on, no, that shot there, I thought he was going to be a bit closer, but that shot there showed something different. But Mika certainly is going to get a lot closer. There we go, as Mika chases Gower down into turn 1. As they cross the line, stop at lap 8, and there we go, Mika right up the rear end of Gower now as they exit turn 1, looking at this chicane style turn 2. Up towards turn 3 then, International Horseshoe. And although it is pitch black everywhere else, as I said earlier on, it is great that this track is well lit. One of the few that are. So when we do night races, we don't mind doing them at Daytona. I think Mount Pan's the worst one. That's like driving down a country lane, that is, with no headlight. Ridiculous at Mount Pan. There we go, we're not at Mount Pan, we're at Daytona, we're in Florida, and we're watching the Pro Split 2 guys. Paul in 8th, Brian Mulcahy, oh, dropped a place. I think he did get up to 8th, didn't he? But Paul's got by him, so Brian Mulcahy drops down to 9th now. Then we've got Bloomfield in 10th, Dizzy in 11th, and Harry Poppins. Oh, Harry Poppins back down in 12th, though he's served a penalty or had a bit of a mishap somewhere along the lines, because he did start to get himself back into this race. But unfortunately, down in 12th. Into the chicane they go. So let's have a look. Where's Nath? Let's jump on board with Nath. We'll do a lap with Nath, shall we? As we go through the penalty zone and approach the start-finish line. The start lap 9. So here we go then into turn 1. Keep it as far to the right as you can into the braking zone. And there's that little set of tyres on the left. But Nath managed to avoid them with ease actually. Through turn 2. Quick look behind us, Dan is there. Then we're up to turn 3 at International Horseshoe. A very, very tight, quite a difficult turn that one is. You think you can get the power down a little bit earlier, especially in these Group 3s, but you can't. The back end will come round. So you've got to be cautious through there. Through turn 4 at Porsche Plaza, and then we're into West Horseshoe at turn 5, another right-hander where you've just got to feather that throttle before you get the car straightened up. Then we head down towards turn 6, another very tight left hand, almost hairpin bend before entering back onto the main track. And we head now towards the bus stop chicane. A quick look behind us, and Dan is still there, hoping to pick up a little bit of slipstream, although as we've mentioned once or twice, the slipstream is pretty rubbish actually, so Nathan's got nothing really to worry about. Oh, say that just as Dan goes flying by. Wow, where did that come from? Into the chicane anyway. We'll stay with Nathan because that's what we're doing. We're doing a lap with him, trying to avoid the penalty zones. You can get across those yellow curb sections, but you go a little bit wider and you will pick up a penalty. But Nathan's through there very safely. Now we're on to the front stretch through turns 11 and 12, and it's just one big turn to be fair. Through the penalty zone and then looking at the start-finish line, and then you can see Nathan just starting to drag Dan back a bit. Dan hugging that inside line as we hit turn 1, and Nathan quite rightly just eases off the power back onto the brakes. Doesn't want to hit Dan at this stage and ruin everybody's race. So great overtake from Dan, really caught me out. I didn't think the slipstream was going to kick in that well, but there we go. Anything to prove the commentator wrong, eh? So Dan now leads this race on lap 10 with 5 laps to go. Nathan second, Silly Shot. Come on, Silly Shot. Now up into third, and on to the podium is Silly Shot. So good racing from him. Grasshopper sitting in fourth. He's going to try and get a bit closer to Silly Shot, pick up this now superb slipstream, as we've just found out. Then we've got Gower in 5th. We've got Stubbs in 6th. He's coming under a bit of pressure from Mika as they head down towards turn 6 and going back onto the main track. Oh, I thought Stubbs and Mika were going to have a bit of a coming together there, but they did remarkably well actually to go too wide through that turn. And Mika comes out on top and goes ahead of Stubbs, although Stubbs looks like he's into that slipstream. He's tucked right underneath. He's having a good look in the boot of Mika's car, isn't he? There must be something interesting in there. Now he's had to pull out because, as I say, you cannot do the bump drafting. So who's going to give in then before they get to the bus stop? And it is Mika. So Stubbs has got himself in front of Mika as they enter the bus stop chicane. Again, great respectful racing between these two. Mika in 7th, Paul in 8th. Seems to be sort of 2 steps forward, 3 back for Paul. He gets his way himself through the grid, has a bit of an issue, drops down a couple, then gets himself back up again. Incidentally, if you didn't know, Paul has got his own YouTube channel, and he does cover some of the a lot of the URL races. I'm hoping he's going to be joining me later, cover one of them. But head over there, it's URL Paul E72 Racing Channel, so just go over there, get subscribed. He does some fantastic commentary, does Paul. If you've not watched them, I suggest you head over there and have a look. He really is a good commentator. He knows his stuff, he knows his tracks, and he knows his cars. Does some fantastic track guides as well, if ever you're stuck. So that's Paul, yeah, head over there, URL Paul E72 Harry Poppins, good. This is better from Harry Poppins. He's now up to 9, so this is a bit better recovery. Probably a little bit late. He had that turn 1 incident, started 4th on the grid, didn't he? Had that bit of a coming together. I think it was Mika, but I'm not so sure. I think Mika might have been tapped from behind. I don't know. That's for the stewards to sort out, not me. But Harry Poppins found himself down in 12th and playing catch up, which is a tough thing to do when you are in a league of this calibre. But Harry Poppins now up into 9th. Dizzy in 11th. Not really seen much of Dizzy, have we? So let's have a look at Dizzy, shall we? Let's have a look at this car of Dizzy's. Bit of Disney in there. It's got the URL logos on it. Looking good. There is Dizzy's Jag. Through the chicane he goes. Oh, Bloomfield seemed to pinch quite a lot of that corner. Actually, he's got away with it. Oh no, he hasn't. There we go. Half a star. I thought he took a bit too many liberties with that chicane. So Bloomfield picked up half a second. That's going to drop him off the back of Dizzy even further. And then we've got Brian Moncarney. Ooh, now then, Brian Moncarney. Do we go back? No, it's a long way, isn't it? I'm not going to go back. But Brian Moncarney, he was doing so well earlier on in the race. And something's happened, and he's found himself all the way down in 12th now. So unlucky for Brian Moncarney. Oh, he's coming into the. Is he coming? Yeah, he's coming into the pits as well. Not quite sure why. He's got plenty of fuel. Tyres are okay. So Brian Moncarney into the pits. Maybe a technical issue for Brian. Maybe something wrong with the car. He's got to pull into the pits, try and get it sorted out. In the meantime, flames licking out the exhaust pipes on this Jaguar for Dan as he goes through the gears at turn 6 to slow that car down, get it to turn in and back onto the main circuit. So Dan out in front, looking for win number 4 of the season, ahead of Nath. They started on pole position, just couldn't quite hold on to it. Dan really has come into form this season, and you can see he's definitely up for it. 2 wins last week in Sardinia, which is a good achievement actually, considering you have to start at the back for race 2. So brilliant stuff from Dan last week, and yeah, he's just carrying on where he left off, isn't he? He's out in front now on lap 12 of 15. Gower in 3rd. Oh, now then we've got a couple of penalties to serve. Gower sitting in 3rd, so he's up onto the podium. He's took that space away from Silly Shot. Silly Shot down in 4th, but has got half a second penalty. So he's going to lose touch of Gower there. Brakes on. Grasshopper also served a penalty, so Silly Shot not going to come under any threat from Grasshopper, but Grasshopper has been taken by Stubbs. Stubbs came flying through the inside of Grasshopper as Grasshopper tries to get back onto the power after serving his penalty. So Stubbs now up to 5th. Grasshopper has got a bit of work to do again. You can see Brian Moncarney, whatever the issue was, he's got it sorted out and he's back out on track, but in amongst the pack there, so he is going to get lapped. Grasshopper in 6th. Brian Moncarney comes out, he's in 12th, just behind Grasshopper, if you're wondering what's going on. So he's letting the field go through. Paul in 7th, Mika 8th, Harry Poppins 9th, Dizzy 10th, Bloomfield 11th, and then Brian in 12th. As I've said, he has got the blue flags waving as the guys catch him up. So, but good to see Brian back out on track. So whatever the issue was, he's got it sorted. Goes out onto the grass there, just trying to get out of everybody's way. Doesn't want to hold the rest of the field up, but it's good that whatever it was, as I say, is sorted and he's back out on track. Now then, lap 13, it is Dan entering into that bus stop chicane. Or as I said earlier, I've got a note here, they also know it as the Le Mans chicane. I don't know why, but there you go. So Dan leading this race. Nath still just trying to stay in touch, just waiting for Dan to make a mistake, although I don't think that's going to happen. But these two, well, there's no reason they shouldn't finish on the podium. They have got an almighty gap. In fact, I'm just looking in the distance there, and we still can't see Gower, who's the nearest to them, in 3rd. But Gower is coming under a lot of pressure now from Silly Shot. Silly Shot dives to the inside as they go past the pit entry in towards turn 1. Silly Shot gets that job done before they get to the braking zone, so should be okay going through turn 1. Gower's just going to have to sit there behind him. Then we've got Stubbs. Stubbs, he's up for this one, isn't he? Stubbs fancies his chances of getting on the podium. and why not? I think he's got the pace to do it. Lap 14, so 2 laps to go. I was just looking at the fuel then, but I think the guys are going to be okay. We're just following Stubbs at the minute. In fact, let's jump on board, shall we, with Stubbs. He's got Gower in 4th and Silly Shot in 3rd, just ahead of him as we come around West Horseshoe at turn 5. A quick look behind with no pressure at all from Grasshopper at the minute. So Stubbs' concentration fully on the 2 cars in front of him. He needs a good exit out of turn 6 now as we rejoin the main track and try and get into that slipstream. And I'm still convinced it doesn't really kick in until you get very, very close to the bus stop chicane. Fuel light flashing now, so maybe some of these guys are going to have to start thinking about short shifting and doing a bit of fuel saving. The slipstream in the drafting will definitely help. You can see Gower having a bit of a look up the inside of Silly Shot, but this is sensible racing there. Gower knew that if it had made a move on Silly Shot there, that could have not ended well for all 3 of these guys. So good racing there from Gower. Oh, Stubbs picked up half a second for cutting the corner. That's unlucky for him. Let's have a look at the fuel situation then for Dan. The fuel light is on as he crosses the line to start the final lap. He's going to have enough fuel to make it to the end of the race. Nath just behind him, he's in the same situation. Silly Shot now in 3rd, Gower in 4th, Stubbs is 5th, having served his penalty. Grasshopper in 6th. Then we've got Paul in 7th, Mika in 8th, Harry Poppins 9th, Dizzy 10th, and Bloomfield in 11th. Everybody's fuel is, well, they're all pretty similar actually. Sorry for the flicking, I'm just checking the fuel, but yeah, everybody's fuel is pretty similar. As Dan comes down towards turn 6 for the final time in this first race. Hopefully this is early morning and race 2 is going to get a little bit lighter. Not that we can't see the cars, as I say. Don't mind doing the night races here at Daytona because at least you can see the cars. But Dan looks like he's going to cruise to victory. He's got a decent gap back to Nath, so it is down to Dan to lose. He's just got to get through this chicane nice and safely. So Dan will probably take it easy. I know I would. Just make sure you don't pick up any penalties up as we follow him through the chicane. Very neatly done. And that's usually where the mistakes happen when you are cruising along. So we're just going to stay with Dan and Nath as we approach the checkered flag, and they've got the fuel pretty much bang on because they will probably run out just as they cross the line. So well done to Dan, a great victory for him as he runs out of fuel as he crosses the line. Brilliant stuff from him. Nath across the line in 2nd, well done, much deserved 2nd, but Silly Shot, come on Silly Shot, it's going to be a race to the finish, this one is. It is Gower and Silly Shot on the inside, who's going to take it? It is Silly Shot, no it is Gower just ahead of Silly Shot. You know what, we're going to go back and we're going to have a look at this one because this was so close, wasn't it? Let's have a look. Oh, now then. That's a whisker, isn't it? That you cannot put anything in there. A bit of paper between them. Silly Shot in 4th, Stubbs 5th, Grasshopper 6th, Paul 7th, Harry 8th, Mika 9th, Dizzy in 10th, Bloomfield in 11th. You know what? I'm going to go back and have another look at this one because this was a fantastic finish between Silly Shot and Gower. Silly Shot hanging on to that inside line. Let's just, oh well, it's not going to let me do it, is it? Let's just have a look. See if we can do it on the warp mode. I mean, look at this as they approach the line. And yeah, I think from this angle, Gower is just going to get it. Wow, what a finish. What an absolute finish. In fact, you know what? I might even use that one for my for the thumbnail. Why not? Shall I do it now? Let's do it now. Let's do the thumbnail now because what a finish that was. That is brilliant stuff. Let's get a screenshot. Sorry, I'm doing this while you're all watching. I don't mean to. It's just save me a job later on, isn't it? So that was race 1 here at Daytona in Florida, and what a race it was as well. Usually these kind of courses are a bit boring because everybody spreads out, but not these boys. Brilliant stuff. Join me very shortly then, please, for race 2 here in Florida.